All right. Yeah, we are recording. No. All right, everyone. We'll be going over how to get started doing open source in literally an hour. So Hacktober is upon us, and I know it's like a funky word, but basically it's the time of the year where everyone's super excited to do like hackathons, and the most important one is Hacktoberfest from DigitalOcean. Pretty much everyone goes online, contribute to open source, and then they get a lot of cool stickers. But the real winner, I think, is the T-shirt, right? So yeah, you get some brownie points for doing open source. So today we'll go over a couple announcements, and then get right into the Mobi Byte, which is the interactive workshop y'all be doing. We'll give y'all a primer into just how GitHub works, because it's kind of mystical for a lot of us. Whenever I first started, it was pretty mystical. And then after I give y'all like that quick intro, it's you time. Y'all get to get involved with GitHub. All right, so as for announcements, we do have officers positions open, and we are looking especially for an administrative officer. We're going to close our apps this Friday, so yeah, send them in if you can, if you're interested. And another thing we'll be doing is that for this Byte, we'll do like a quick project just to get y'all introduced to like what open source is and all that. But the real juice is like getting like actually into the open source ecosystem. So if you've been in the Discord chat, you might have seen Kenneth post something about his open source project. So stuff like that, we'll post some issues out there, and you can get involved and actually like contribute to the community. By the way, those things, if the recruiter sees that, they'll be like, "Oh my God, you actually did that!" Like, it's something that looks really good on your resume. It shows that you're involved and you're willing to like give out into the public your code. I can name a lot of people who really like those skills. So yeah. And the other thing we'll be doing is that we'll have a workshop going over into some more detailed ideas. So that could be like a workshop on the overview of a cloud or something. We don't know what these are yet, so we'll be sending out a survey in the future where y'all basically get to vote on what kind of workshop y'all would like for like a more, I don't know, handy topic. So yeah, suggestions and surveys are incoming. All right, so yeah. I just wanted to go over the term, what is Hacktober? It is like a specific term used by devs in the community. So again, basically it's basically referring to the hackathons that are about to happen. One of them, HackDFW, is actually happening this Saturday. That actually swept up on us, but if y'all want to go there in person or virtually, it's available. I think HackDFW is actually in Frisco. So yeah, you can go there. There's a couple companies that host a bunch of workshops. I think State Farm, Goldman Sachs, and I know Amazon is sponsoring it. So and even Google is. So there's some opportunities there. Typically, what happens at these hackathons is like they have a lot of developer advocates and evangelists out there that's supposed to be teaching you how to use their technologies. It's a great way to network with folks, and I think more swag so you can't lose. And the other one is DigitalOcean's Hacktoberfest, which is like an annual developer event where you get to participate in the open source community, just contribute to open source projects, and again, get some free swag out of it. All right, so let's get into the actual Byte. I know all of us, we stand something, right? We got something we really like, got a show, got some games, something that we stand, right? So my question is like, what do y'all stand, right? I'm kind of curious what y'all are liking in terms of media, and we're actually going to wrap this together into a quick project where y'all get to share that by doing open source. And now I'll basically give a very bare rundown of GitHub. Hopefully is For some of y'all who already know GitHub, y'all won't roast me, but it is a bare primer to get y'all started. So basically, GitHub is an online service to host a bunch of your Git repos. Technically, Git, the technology, is called a version control system. It's basically a way you can track how your code changes over time with other people. Traditionally, it is offline, but its superpower is whenever it exists online in a repo. So that's what GitHub is. That's why it's so popular. It is the place where people host their code. I know there's GitLab and Bitbucket, but GitHub is pretty much the big guy around. So let's go into a bit on how it works. I'm going to try to use the most loaded analogy ever. But basically, pretend that we're in this world where pretend the cloud doesn't exist. Pretend we're like back in 2007, we have like a Word document. And we have one computer, one place, and we're all doing this group project, right? So you're in a team of people. You have this Word doc. You're writing an assignment. All these people are writing changes to it, and you got to keep track of who wrote what. Because, you know, say someone writes something, and you're like, you're not supposed to do that, but I don't remember what you did. So you got to keep track of the changes, right? The whiteboard? Oh, I'm still going to use Figma. That's going to be a challenge. But, all right. So I'm basically going to show y'all how this is. Okay, we're not doing it there. Done with Figma. So yeah, basically we have a Word doc, right? And we have a party of people, and they're all making changes to it. And you made changes for quite a while. Like, say you wrote something new, something you would do to keep track of those changes is like you write your name, you give your date, and then you write what you changed, right? And you keep it in this long list so you can go back in time and see like who did what. And that's all fine and dandy because, you know, it's in your own group. This is one document in your own group. But with code bases, you'll find that there are a lot of people who are interested in extending your code. And just to bring it to this analogy, there's a lot of people who are interested in bringing their ideas to your Word doc. All right, so let me see. Here's this ledger. And let me zoom in so y'all can get a closer look at what this looks like. So yeah, here's the Word doc that everyone is like editing in. All right, say this is your team. And here's the history. Now, the thing about GitHub is like, and open source in general, is like how does it work when someone else comes into your project? Because that's the biggest question. When you work at open source at scale, like there's literally hundreds of people and hundreds of ideas, and they're all trying to contribute to one Word doc, one code base, right? So just the bare idea on how the process works is like, usually what people do is like they have their own Word doc and their own ideas. So let me try to duplicate that. So they have their own Word doc and Word ideas. And say it's like worked on with these two guys over here. And I'm going to change it to a different color so y'all can see the change. So yeah, this is a different Word doc. And the thing is that they also keep track of their history. But the problem is like, you know, how they're going to grab the stuff from their workshop, or their Word doc, and then merge it into the other, right? So the way that happens is that basically, if you think about it logically, like if someone is trying to put some changes into your Word doc, you're like, you're not just going to do that because I don't know what you're putting in there, right? You got to take a look over at what changes they've done, what they're trying to add, what their ledger is. And then once you're like, yeah, this is okay, then you're going to actually just stack it on top or on the bottom. Just continue the Word doc, but with the ledger, exchange, and the people part of the team. All right, did that analogy, is it still making sense? Or am I being too big? Okay, good, because this is a stretch. All right, so keeping that in mind, I'm going to go through the flow on actually doing this live in person with Andy. So we're actually going to like do this literally in code with GitHub, and then y'all will do the same too. All right, so let's see. Yeah, it is demo time. So I'm gonna go to the website that we're posting on. So basically the idea is that we're gonna have a bunch of stickers, and it's gonna have what y'all like in terms of medium, film, what y'all stand. So it's gonna be up here. So yeah, in the future it'll be filled. But we're gonna make our very first sticky with Andy here. And we will go through the process. All right, so first step is to make sure that you have something called GitHub Desktop. And I know that there's Git CLI and like, Git on command line, but I think just for a lot of folks, you have no idea what's gonna happen. There's like all sorts of configurations and like gizmos. So we're gonna use GitHub Desktop. It will simplify everything. So does everyone have GitHub Desktop installed?
Everyone has a GitHub account or?
Okay, if everyone has that ready, okay, we can continue. That's good. So I actually uninstalled it for this, just to show y'all the installation steps. And it's right here. So just to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Just in case if any of y'all don't have it, any person online doesn't have it, this is how you get it done. All right, dang it remembers that I installed it. Oh well. So the first thing you want to do is I'm going to clone the repository. So basically, this is the equivalent of just going up on GitHub and downloading the entire code base. Or the same thing as downloading the Word doc, if you want to keep it with the analogy. So in this case, I'm going to use the URL that I posted on Discord. Yeah, please stop, because I tend to get fast. So yeah, again, cloning equivalent to downloading the entire code base, equivalent to downloading that Word doc with all the history. And I can show y'all like what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to see it.
Yeah, there was like a place where you could choose where you install it. You want to make sure you remember where that is, because you'll have to navigate. Yeah, it's on Discord. It says GitHub Repo. Yeah.
Y'all get like office.
But just to show y'all what that, that ledger looks like, is here. You could see every single thing I've done to change the code preparing for this workshop. You can see it all. It tells you what you removed, what you've added. This is actually just Git in a nutshell, right? It is basically a glorified log. It keeps track of a lot of details. All right, so the first thing I need to do is, right now this is the main code base, right? But whenever you're doing open source, you're actually, the people outside, y'all are the people who want to add changes to the main Word doc, right? So to make your own Word doc or make your own changes on the side for open source, the first thing you need to do is you need to make a new branch. So just for this workshop, make the name of the branch your name. So I'm going to create the name of my branch long, right? So basically now I'm in my own version of the Word doc. I'm making my own changes. In Git terms, you've made a branch from the history.
Made like a copy.
Basically a copy, but it doesn't reflect the changes in the main Word doc. That's its superpower. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to where I saved my repository, and you can do this here by pressing Show in Explorer. On a Mac, it might show in Finder. And then you're going to go into Source, and then you're going, or SRC, and then you're going to go into Posts, and this is where y'all are going to write or make additions to what we're about to do. And by the way, the website I just showed y'all earlier, it's actually live on the internet right now. So what we're doing is making changes in production. So make a new folder. So just like that, and name it your name. So I'm gonna name it my name. And then inside of this folder, you want to add a new file. So just a new, it could be, needs to be a markdown file. So long.markdown. And this is where it might get funky for Windows users. For Mac users, I think you have to use something called TextEdit, and you have to like directly write the file from TextEdit and save as into that directory. So yeah, on Windows, it's like you're changing the file name extension, and it doesn't like that. But we're writing a markdown file because markdown files are very pleasant for what we're about to do. So inside of this markdown file, so with any of with your favorite text editor or with Notepad, I'm using Notepad because I'm like,
How do you make a file in Mac OS?
You have to open up TextEdit, right? And then you're going to do the same thing I'm doing in Notepad. Yeah, TextEdit. I wish there was a cross-platform way to do this. I would say everyone install VS Code, but everyone has their own favorite text editor, so I'm not going to do that. But is everyone ready? Actually, I'm just gonna keep on doing because I'll help y'all whenever it's y'all's turn. I'm gonna write my favorite kind of film is Marvel. Okay. And then maybe like if you know Markdown and like how to make it really bold with a lot of headers, you can put a hashtag as your first character, then a space. And then you can really make your point. I like Marvel, I like Marvel, I like Marvel. And save it. And then if you go back to GitHub Desktop, it will say, hey, you just made a change, right? And it told me exactly what kind of change I made up there. And you got to keep track of these changes because it's not official until you say, yeah, I did make those changes. I did intend to do this. I'm not playing around. So yeah, I'm about to make this change. And then I'll give a message. I'll say what I just did. I'll say, I wrote my favorite kind of film. And then I'm going to commit to this history, this log, this branch. So now, as you can see, it's inside of the history, but the catch is that it only exists on your computer right now. It's not technically in GitHub. So the next step I'm going to do is this is the part that makes it open source, right? This is the part where I'm going to suggest the changes that I'd like. So I'm going to make a pull request, right? And basically a pull request, I just underlined the word request. So you made a change to the code base on your own. It's a public project and there's a bunch of maintainers on it. And you're just saying, hey, I got a change. Can you look at this? And that's basically what pull request is. So you're going to make a pull request. You want to publish your branch onto GitHub. And then you're going to write what you did, which is wrote my favorite kind of film. You're going to create a pull request. And then it's going to run some checks. So basically all of this, if you know a little bit about continuous integration and delivery, this is going through a pipeline just to check if my website is okay. Part of its superpower is that you can see the website for each of your branches live. So like this. So boom. Now there's a post. So y'all are about to make one of these. All right. Now here's the special part. Andy is going to have to review my pull request because he's kind of like my helper. He's supposed to be reviewing exactly what my code is doing. So in a typical code review scenario, what's going to happen is that you're going to make a pull request. Someone else is going to take a look at your code and they'll write some comments about it. They're like, I don't like this. You need to change that. And then I do the changes and then they approve it. So yeah, Andy, he's going to log on to GitHub. There's another way to do this, I think, for everyone. Because I'm just not realizing like this is the branching workflow. But I think for public folks, they have to use a forking workflow. So I'm not sure about that.
Right, that's another view.
So he posted a change. So I got to review that. Okay, and it should be in like discussion. No, that's not here.
I think it's go to commit.
To commit?
Yeah, go to commit.
That is so weird. Did you finish Oh yeah, it was just here. There you go. He says, I don't like Marvel films. So the next thing I have to do is address that. So view changes. All right, I'll say, too bad I actually like Marvel films. So this is kind of a discussion. Imagine this was a code review, right? And they just review my code. Sometimes they select certain lines of code that they'd like to review, but the process is usually they'll select a couple lines of code that they think you should review, and then you're gonna have a discussion. Usually these two things, usually you can't immediately approve it because that's usually up to you to the project maintainer. But I made this repo, so that's why you can see those options. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't even let me. All right, so I've submitted my review, so Andy's going to review it, and he's the one who's going to be able to approve it. By the way, do y'all have any questions about this whole process?
That's me if I want to fork the repository.
Yeah, I just kind of realized it as I was doing this workshop. I think for all of y'all are going to have to fork all of y'all's own repos and then make the branch from there. So I will go over that in a few. Because the way GitHub works, I'm sorry, it's because it's a central code base, but there's a certain amount of maintainers or people who are actually maintaining that code base. So usually this would be your boss or something, right? And then there'll be like you, maybe like an employee or like someone else trying to make changes. Sometimes they'll add you directly in so you can like make changes. But most of the time for a public project, you'll have to fork the project first. So the equivalent forking is like making an entire copy of that Word doc, adding changes to that, and saying, hey, look at this entire new thing I made, and then making that comparison. So it's the same thing, just like another step because it's more secure. Did that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, good. That was a stretch. That took me 2 years to get. All right, did you approve it yet, Andy?
I did.
Okay, so it's approved, and now you have to merge it, Andy, because he was a reviewer, so he reviewed it and he'll merge the pull request. So this is the equivalent of taking all the changes that you've just written and just merging it in. There's two workflows when it comes to doing open source. The one I'm going over right now is probably the one you'll be using if you ever work in software or in a team. You're going to be using the branching workflow because it's easier. All right, so yeah, now that the pull request is merged, right? And I'm going to show y'all a bit of the wiring in the background. It's going to basically build my website again. Please work, please be logged in. Okay, it's not. And then the changes will be live. And a lot of times in like a continuous integration and delivery workflow, they'll do the exact same thing. You'll basically make a pull request, they'll test your code like crazy. And then once it's passed all the tests and it's passed all the reviews, it'll be automatically merged into like the main code base and boom, it's live, just like that. So yeah, I'm gonna send y'all this link onto, I'm not sure if this is already on the Discord, but if y'all go on this link, I posted it on chat, then y'all should be able to see the exact change that we just did. But assuming this is like some random person. All right, so did this entire process kind of make a little bit of sense? Like, do y'all feel confident enough to do something similar to this? Okay, good. Great. Because it's y'all's turn. I'm gonna go over the forking workflow with y'all. So hopefully this will work with everyone. So were y'all able to see the same thing I did on the website? Okay, perfect. Awesome. So usually after you make a pull request and you're done with that branch, you straight up delete it. Sometimes you keep it for history, but a lot of times in like a code base, you might have like 10 team members and they're making like multiple branches every time. It'll get real messy real quick. So usually people toss their branches after they're done. But by doing that, you keep like a very stable and clean trajectory into how your code develops together as a team. So it's not like one person trying to collide with each other. It's a reviewed, measured process. So yeah, I'm literally about to do that. Goodbye, branch. Delete. And then now it's y'all's turn. So the first thing I would do is go on to GitHub. So this GitHub link, and y'all are going to want to fork. So I guess I'm gonna show y'all both ways to do it. One on like a typical engineering team, and the other in like a literal public open source project. I am going to not use this account. I'm going to use my own account actually. So yeah, on your own account, make sure y'all fork it. So basically what just happened was like, so whenever someone posts their code project, it's usually under some organization, but we're basically claiming this for ourselves whenever we fork it. So y'all are just gonna do the same thing. So after y'all forked it, y'all are going to want to copy that URL. And And y'all are going to want to go on GitHub Desktop, and I don't know why that's not here. Oh, it's right here. Okay. And y'all are going to want to do the same thing. Y'all are going to want to clone a repository, but this time it's your own. So I'm going to choose my desktop again, and I'm actually going to delete the folder I just made. Oops, it's here. Oops. And it's opening an app. Okay, nice. I don't know which app you're opening. I think it's GitHub Desktop straight up. So I'm actually just going to go to my documents. All right, hopefully you work. Come on. Okay, I guess it doesn't like that either. Right, hopefully inside of a folder it'll let me do it. Okay. All right, last ditch effort. I want to use my user folder. Basically, on y'all's computer, it should be fine. It's just Windows. For some reason, whenever you install it nowadays, they make you sign up with OneDrive, and it doesn't like that. Or at least get. Jesus, why aren't you working? I'm gonna force it. I guess it wasn't OneDrive then. All right, there you go. It's the same thing. See, so usually whenever people fork their own projects, they got 2 reasons, and that's why they're showing the screen. Sometimes people fork so they can contribute to a project. Other times they like to tinker around with the project and break it without messing with the main repo. All right, so it's the same. So let me know when y'all are at this stuff, because from there on it's the same, literally. So are y'all here? Okay. So yeah. So I'm just gonna do it again just for clarity. Make a new branch. Name it whatever your name is. New branch. Oh shoot. I didn't delete my branch yet, so I'll just call it long2. Show the folder your project is in. Go to source and post. Make a folder with your name. So I'll name mine long2. Make a new text file. Call it index.md. Give me that problem. I like Star Wars Visions. Great. And this can, yeah. I like Star Wars Visions. It's gonna list the changes here. I'm just gonna keep it like that. Create index.md. Commit in my history. Branch. Create pull requests. Publish the branch. And it's gonna link you to here. Create the same pull request. Or the same like message. It's whatever you like, honestly. And we should be able to I think some of y'all are actually submitting some of the pull requests. I can see it. Yeah, I can see some of y'all's pull requests. Each one of y'all. So yeah, there you go. Doing the thing. I love it. So here, this person said they added their favorite food. Okay, I'm actually gonna do a live update real quick. So this is someone's pull request, right? They've added their own change to the project, and I'm literally about to merge it. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the commit. So I'm gonna see what you changed, just like seeing someone else's word changes in their Word doc. And here I can see that they made a new file in post ryan.md. So much cheese, same. All right. So yeah, it's all here. And I'm like, yeah, this is a good change. If I had a problem with it, I could press review change and like leave a comment so they could review it. But I think this looks good. So I'm going to straight up merge it. And actually, you can see his change straight up. So yeah, we're gonna merge, confirm merge, and hopefully our architecture does right where it's not a problem. So yeah, Ryan, you're part of the group now. And then shortly, hopefully we can see those changes. Okay. And boom, there it is. Ryan, you've just made your first post, or I don't know if this is your first one, but yeah, you've made 4 requests and contributed to a public project. So yeah, I guess, I don't know if Hacktoberfest is happening now, but that would be a +1. Oh yeah, just one thing, I completely forgot to mention this, but y'all can definitely customize y'all's how y'all would like to style this. So for example, let me see if I can find myself. Usually, by the way, every single time someone's pull request gets merged, basically everyone who's still making those changes is out of sync, if that makes sense. So I guess just going back to the Figma, it would be like this. It would be like, I'm gonna move some of these characters out. So say this is me and Ryan, right? We both just added ourselves into the Git repo. But someone else who's still editing the repo on their computer will still have this, right? And it could be that everyone's history is like super far down the line, like this. But this person over here is still on the first version. So when working on open source projects, every single time you're about to publish a change, you want to make sure you press this button. Fetch origin. And what that does is that it syncs your project. And usually you can see that in the history. But yeah. All right. Okay. So let me show y'all the other thing that y'all can do to customize y'all's files a bit more. Oops, not that one. So if y'all would like to add some color to like the cards or stickers, y'all can do this. So this is Markdown front matter. This is how you can add some extra metadata to a Markdown file, if you're familiar with this process. Some of the things I let y'all do is add some color and rotation. So you can say rotate 10, and then you can say, I think, curve 5, and then color red. And I'll let y'all customize the stickers if y'all want. You can even update your own stickers if it's already merged. You just have to make a new pull request every single time you'd like to make a change to the project. But yeah, that is pretty much the process.
Can you pick up a custom color?
Yeah, you can. I set it up to where you can choose a hex color.
Also, like put a hex code, it'll work.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully I use the right terms. Usually I straight up forget what values I use in my own code. So if you know Git, you can always go back in time and see exactly what you changed.
Do you have the link to the title?
So yeah, it's color, curve, rotate. Yeah, on the chat. Any color. I basically inject them right into the CSS. If you want to get real fancy with the markdown, you can see some HTML in there too. You know HTML. Then you can be super powerful with that. And I also added a custom font for Japanese. So if you want to like spice up our little board, feel free to quote something from your favorite anime.
Yeah. The original one. It's not.
I really like working workflow, and minutes since I've done that. I'm glad it's working out for y'all.
It all makes sense, you know?
Yeah, like straight up, a lot of their pull requests are like on there. Yeah, people are actually like doing it.
This is like a very.
Straight up. So you can tell which repo it is based on like the URL. UTA is the URL for, and I can see everyone's pull request right here. So for example, if I like to add Edgar, and by the way, if you check some of the deploy previews, you'll see that it looks, that's weird. I think it's the other one. Oh, even good. Oh yeah, my bad. I forgot to show you. Basically, whenever you add a .md, and if you're using a text file, it'll still add a .txt. So what you have to do is you'll actually find that you have to do this a lot on Windows usually. Is that you have to go to View, and then you have to show file name extensions, and then you should be able to see that pesky.txt and just pipe it.
Matthew.
So yeah, this is where I would suggest a change, and then y'all would just make those changes and follow the same process. Y'all would make a change, commit to the history, publish the branch, and then it'll sync up with your pull request. So yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. If y'all need help, I'll like walk around and like. By the way, who is Ryan? I actually got a sticker for you. I got some fancy stickers. Okay, awesome. By the way, these stickers, yeah. Actually, all the
Those are,
whichever one you want.
So three. Maybe.
Which sticker? These are color. These are thirsty. They usually happen at hackathons. So make sure
It's the same problem. It's like.
Yeah, there's a lot. Nice job. Yeah.
No, this is the commit.
Alright, cool. And then I'm going to look at the pull requests and start syncing up with everyone's. Okay, add post for myself. I see. Oh, someone knows the right syntax for this. Feet at. Y'all done this before. Yeah, like this, by the way, is if you work in the industry, basically every single time someone adds a new feature, they're going to add a little tag for what they did, and then follow up with the details. So yeah, you're this person knows. All right, and then usually you can tell, and you can also click into these links, by the way, and you can also share this on social media if you'd like because it's live. So.
Tell your friends.
So I'm going to merge this pull request because I think it's good. And because I merged, don't forget to sync it up every time. Okay, and then I gotta find GitHub Desktop again. Whoops, not that.
I don't get to think if I'm gonna make another change. Let's say let's say I already made the change and then you guys are updating it now. But I have to sync it and then re-upload
So
it.
basically, you want to sync for you.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, because
Straight up.
yeah, what happens when you sync it is, and you made a change, sync it, it could conflict with the
Code.
You always, every time you open up GitHub, you want to sync it. That's the first thing you want to do.
Yeah, and then before you before you push it or publish it again, you want to sync it because someone else might have already made a change.
So I'll be fine if I synced it and
Yeah.
uploaded
Yeah,
it, and then you guys make changes or whatever.
Yeah.
That's it still,
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a complex.
okay.
Because the whole idea is a lot of people. But yeah, that's all there. And you can also view all the posts just like this. If you'd like to share, and then you can go into it and then share this direct link. By the way, is that color variable still working? Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm making sure. Oh, yeah, if you use a hex code, I think you have to surround it by quotes. I think it's a YAML thing. Or TOML, I'm not sure which one to use. But you're right. Let me sync. All right, and then I'm gonna add my own changes. Color, red, rotate. You can use negative values, by the way, -30. Curve, 5,000. And I think they'll either make it a pill or a circle. All right. Then let me push it. What's up?
Yeah, if you're in Mac, you have to change the file extension. It's still a text file.
Yeah, make sure
So
it's.
yeah, can you go to the process of change?
Okay, my bad.
It's still showing the text. That's why
So what do I have to put in there?
Okay, I'll show you.
Yeah.
You're changing our text to
Okay.
or MD.
Yeah. So it's like this. So you go into wherever you did it, and let me see. Yeah, I'll make a new one. Oh, this is the empty one. Okay, whatever. Okay. So I'm going to show you what it is by default, right? So whenever you make a new text file by default on Windows, so say index.md, right? It'll still show text document, and it might look like it's index.md, but whenever you press view, file name extensions, and you press that, let me see, did I actually press that? Okay. There you go. Then it adds that extra.txt that it hid from you. So what you have to do is you have to rename the file, and then you have to delete the .txt, press yes because it's saying you're changing the file name extensions, and then add a .md, and that makes it work now. Okay, there's so many. All right, so let me look at this commit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Matthew, I think you're gonna have to do the same thing. Let's see what else. This is going good. I'm seeing everyone's stuff pop up live. Yeah.
We were afraid that one.
Yeah. I mean, this room is kind of packed in a corner. We were hoping to get Netterman 105.
You can take a picture of it. You don't have to say so.
Oh yeah.
Whoever, look at whoever committed and give them stickers.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you don't leave without being.
Yeah, for sure. All of y'all have been at this. So let's see. I think Edgar. It still shows up as .md.
That was an old one, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and check that. So yeah, you gotta go back on GitHub Desktop.
You don't even make it.
Yeah, you need to make a new commit. And then after you made your change, you gotta push it. So every single time you add a change to a file, like for example, renaming that extra.txt, you have to make a new commit, then you have to push it, and it will reflect into your pull request. So what I just did was I added some colors to my sticker, and if you go to your pull requests, if it doesn't bug out, and then you go to commits, you'll be able to see the exact change that you just added. Yeah, right here. Why is GitHub like that? Okay. Oh yeah, Edgar, you are getting there. Okay, awesome. Yep. Okay, I'm betting you this one works, Edgar. Yeah, I'm looking at the preview. But yeah, I'm glad that we actually ran into problems because that's literally how it's like. Oh, did you forget the bottom?
What's this?
Let me see. Again, I'm surprised how like accurate this is in terms of like reviewing code. So I can actually see what you changed. File rename without changes. Okay. Oh, you have to make sure it's exactly 3 dashes. Yeah.
All right, it's very specific.
Yeah, it's very specific. It's like exactly 3 dashes.
It's okay making it specific. You understand the whole thing.
Yeah. I know it's hard because like you're changing it. And you're like I saved, but then you also have to commit, and then you have to push, and then you have to sync. Oh, it's a markdown file. Okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm just trying to find a really fancy markdown file. Oh, developers love markdown files, dude. I'm trying to. Nope. What?
How is the markdown file different from?
You can do more.
Well, okay, do you see this little header over here? You see this list over here? You see this GIF? You see what else? And do you see each of these subheaders, right? And all these links, right? I'm gonna show you what that actually looks like in GitHub. So if I can find a README, and then you press raw, this is Markdown. So this is a link to an image, and it shows that image. This is a list. See all the dots. So you're using characters to do formatting. So it's really nice when you have like ordered notes that you would like to write, and developers love their Markdown.
Yeah, so it's gonna get merged in some.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a really crappy EXT. I was like, what is the point of this? Or like, I was.
Yeah, Markdown.
Yeah, no, it's really
If
cool.
it's like adding styles.
Hey.
More structured.
The specialty with this Markdown file is that you can also sneak some HTML in there too. So If you want to get real fancy, you can add like line breakers, tables, what else? Some of them even like add support for graphs and stuff. So yeah, they can extend it pretty far. Okay. Let me see. Oh, this one's already merged? Okay. So we should be able to see it on live actually. Y'all can even pull up y'all's phone and see it. Yeah, just literally click on. Oh yeah, Dallas Cowboys. Boom. Share this with anyone. Literally, it is live. Okay. I'm glad this worked out well, honestly.
Yeah, that's just pretty good. I'm not sure how this ends up.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like we were scared that like basically when it comes to like working with Git, it's like working with like a timeline, and like you're working with different alternate versions of all these different timelines, and like they can merge together. So you're right? Yeah. Right. I'm long. Long? Yeah. Awesome.
Or Matthew, I thought you were intended. So it's gonna take some time for it to merge in and update, but yeah. I got yours
Pretty
merged.
pricey. Usually get these at hackathons, but
I've been like launching so far with COVID.
I don't know the.
right now hackathons, I think they're switching to hybrid. They'll do them both virtually and in person. But I will say you won't. I don't know if they're doing the swag the same way. So yeah, I think last semester they did. I definitely didn't. Okay, I got to make sure like who put in their pull requests. Both of them. All right, let me see details. Okay, awesome.
If I want to edit it, I could just go back and edit it, change the color, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, you would have to make a new pull request because I just merged it.
Oh, okay.
So basically the way it works is like while you're still changing
Or like.
whatever you want, like you haven't like no one's merged your pull request yet, it's still up for you to change. But once it's merged, it means that it's literally official, like it's inside of like the code base now. You made your contribution. So if you'd like to make another one, you gotta do the same process again. You can use this basically.
I picked a good color, but it's throwing me off of the back.
Okay, I mean, you want to make another one, you can do it. It's a live thing. We can always make changes. All right. What? Yeah, you just use hashtags. It can support up to 6 headers, 6 levels of headers. All right, I'm gonna merge this one. I think your name is Terza?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Oh, did you just make a change?
Yeah. Oh, he was able to get the.
Oh, I didn't even confirm it yet. Okay. Is it all done now? Not yet. Okay, I'll go back to you in a few. But
Yeah, maybe.
all right, I gotta check out who else made a pull request. Matthew. By the way, do y'all at least feel a little bit more confident about doing this?
Yeah, learn from them. Right?
Yes, that's good because this took us like 2 or 3 years, dude. So that's good that y'all are picking this up. Okay, let me see. Matthew is not showing up. Let's see what's up. Oh yeah, it's not TXT. Oh, okay. Oh, where's my other sticker bag? Here, you gotta get it. You gotta grab a sticker.
You hate it?
Next time I go to a hackathon, I'm gonna snatch so many. It's not even funny. Those are $5 a piece, and at hackathons they just lay them out for the picking. I'm just telling y'all, it's like high quality stickers, high quality swag. Grab them all. All right, so because this one is Yeah, I forgot how to do. Wait. Bottom? Oh yeah. Cool. Thanks. You know how to do this.
Oh, you just saw it? Yeah, that's how.
So what do I do like?
I was also gonna say another thing about open source is that usually they have an issue board, and why don't I straight up find one project? Let me see. This is one I've been looking at, Theater.js.
Hey, how do you change like?
Oh, yeah, you go.
The text code, no, the text color.
Oh, I didn't implement that yet. I was so, well, I should have done that. Maybe in the future, because y'all want it, I'll implement it. Actually, pretty quick to do.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, like on an actual GitHub project, right, they'll have like an actual issue board with suggestions.
Oh, it's a cat.
It's a cat, right?
It's an octopus and a cat. It's an octocat. Why do they call it an octocat? Okay, I'm gonna refresh this and see what whoever did the ASCII art. I love it. Yeah. Can't even see it. Oh, I love it. I am actually really glad this turned out well. But yeah, this is looking pretty clean. Yeah, see you, Matthew. All right, let me look at the other pull requests. Okay, that's mine. That's whatever. New color from Edgar. Let's see what he changed. Oh, okay, it's pretty nice.
Can you see the color? Oh, it's because the back of the projector.
Oh, the projector does that. I can see it pretty good on my screen. Do you want to change it, or do you want me to merge?
I'm sure it's gonna look different.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, I'm gonna merge it. By the way, y'all can actually see each of y'all's changes in the log. Like this commit history probably puffed up a bit. See, each time I merge it, it gets listed. I think. Okay, let me see. Oh, okay. I see it. Okay, yeah. I think, is this it? Yeah, you gotta have a space after the hashtag, like right here. You don't have to use H1, H2, just use the amount of hashtags for each level. Yeah, so like if you want a header 1, just one hashtag, one space, and then whatever you need. And then just make a whole hierarchy with it.
You have a question? Well, it's kind of like, I love color theory, so we look at color hex codes. Yeah. You could get like custom.
Oh, I know that.
I do the same thing. Instead of putting red, you want like a.
Yeah, it is.
Blood red.
I lie. I actually grown to just really like it. Have you ever heard of Bear Hack before? No. Oh my god. People paid money to see it. Like to see like all the markdown being written up. Yeah, no idea. It's so funny. But yeah, it is kind of like weird.
I don't really like Markdown, but I also don't like hardware. Or I mean, yeah, they're like preprocessors.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That one is always a hot potato. All right, see ya. I'm actually thinking about using Hug for the Mobi website, actually. And if y'all are kind of curious how any of this is working, I'm kind of surprised myself. This was literally a gamble if it would actually work, and it is.
He's trying to add a header, maybe.
Yeah, I think he's adding the changes.
Is the Mobi website in a repo?
Yeah, it's in the repo.
It is?
And y'all can actually see all the code.
Yeah, actually code.
But it's so disgusting that I actually used the Mobi website as an experiment to use a new CSS library. Did not work as well as I wanted. Everyone's typing it up. They're like, this is the next big thing. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna follow up. It was not the next big thing.
All y'all are computer science, but CD.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take some notes, a lot of people, but their stuff first, then. More than 10 people.
Oh, that's impressive.
Did you do this? Did you give it?
Are you guys also TSP?
Yeah, we're both using it. Kind of curious what's our next workshop gonna be like. We were thinking about like something more technical, like functional programming, but I don't know if people want to learn that.
Well, what, I mean, I don't know.